There she goes. Bye-bye, truck. Bye-bye. Rumors have it that I sold my rig, and well, those are not rumors, those are hard facts. On March 1st, I handed over the keys to the buyer of my rig, and he drove away. And yeah, since then I've been without a vehicle. And yeah, it's gone. All the work, everything, the sweat, blood, and tears, and a lot of money went into that rig, and now it's all gone. It's history. And I'm sad a little bit about it, but I'm also looking forward to what is coming down the road, because this is not the end of the journey for me. I really like traveling. I still have the idea of travel full time, find a nice place, set up camp, and then work my day-to-day job from the rig. And then when I'm off on the weekends or in the afternoons, just keep traveling a little bit. And that means that it's a slow way of travel. And I'm still, like I said, that's still on the table. That's still something I want to do. But yeah, I want to talk about why I sold my rig in this video. And then, yeah, give you a little more insight of what will change in the future. How will the near future look like? And when will I get a new rig? So let's take a look. So I sold the rig. It was really the perfect vehicle for adventuring. That's all I can say. It's like everything that I did for adventuring, it worked out perfectly. So the ground clearance, the size of the vehicle, center of gravity, and it was just perfect. It had enough storage. I had the upgraded tank in there, so the rig was just perfect from that perspective. If I would not have to work, this would have been the vehicle for the long term. And yeah, that's the point that I'm talking to now, is it wasn't the perfect vehicle for working. So I still have a day-to-day job that I like to do, that keeps me busy for 5 days a week and pays the bills. I mean, that's the most important part. Of course, I like other things more than work, but I still need to pay my bills. I still have to bring my son through college. And so from that perspective, that job will be with me for a couple more years. So, and the idea was really build the ultimate adventure rig that allows me to work remotely at the same time, and technically working remotely worked just fine. So with Starlink high-speed internet, I had zero problems. I sat in the desert many times and just worked the same way as I was working from home previously. So, but the way how the Supertramp camper was built, that's really where I ran into issues. When you look at the truck camper or the Supertramp camper, in specifically here in this case, the Supertramp camper is a nice camper. It's very luxurious, I want to say, but it's also very limiting from that perspective. So, and for me, with every trip, it became more and more clear that it's not the right camper for me. So, and why is it not the right camper for me? So, with the Supertramp camper, there is a limited amount of space. There is no permanent dinette, and that's really the difficulty that I had. So let's say in the morning, I move from sleep mode into, let's say, breakfast mode, and then into work mode. So I get the table out, I need a monitor, I figured out a monitor stand solution. So all that was nice and dandy, but yeah, it takes effort to set everything up in the morning. So then once the monitor and the table are in place that I could work, every time, even if I just want to grab something to drink from the refrigerator or refill on coffee or tea, whatever the case may be, it's like I could not just go straight towards the sink or the refrigerator. I had to get up, pretty much climb around the desk setup, then get my drink, and go back and sit down. Same thing with the dog and everything. So let's say the dog is on the couch, and then it becomes even more cumbersome. So let's just go through the workday. If I want to do lunch, I cannot use the table for lunch, otherwise I have to take everything down. So it's usually a stand-up lunch in a certain way, not as comfortable. Go back to work. In the afternoon, it's like, okay, I'm done with work for a while. So I put everything away. I run a small side business, or when I edit videos for you guys here on the YouTube channel, I need the setup again. So after everything was put away, a couple hours later in the evening when it's dark outside and cold, I wanted to work on videos, and I had to put it back up again because it's just difficult to work on a small laptop screen to edit videos. And so I prefer to have the larger monitor. I prefer to have the table. So again, so you set it all up, you work for a couple hours, then it's night time and you want to go to bed, or you want to relax and watch a movie, so you want to use the couch, you have to put it all away again. So in general, putting that stuff away and putting it or taking it out again is not that difficult from a technical perspective. But again, in the Supertramp camper, the storage is a limiting factor, the space is a limiting factor. So the majority of the storage is in the storage bins underneath the couch surface. So you have to take the pillows off, open the lid, put your stuff inside, close the lid, put the pillow back on. Now you have the dog sitting there. It's also, you get the toilet out for at night, because again, the toilet sits in the storage below. When the dog sleeps on the couch at night, it's like, okay, if I have to get up and pee, that doesn't mean the dog needs to move or something. So in general, putting stuff up, taking stuff down just to be able to work is cumbersome. Then with limiting space, especially when the weather is not as great as it is right now here with blue skies, it's like you're confined to a very small space. And in general, I'm fine with the small space. I like simple living. That's not a big deal. But in a small space, in a camper, where you just have that limited space, you don't have much storage above head storage or anything, it's becoming an effort. So, and that's really where over time I was just not seeing this work out long term for me. If I would go for a week or 2 weeks, fine, not a big deal. But if I want to travel for several years and really explore the entire US and Canada and potentially head down the Pan American Highway, that's a very different story. So if I would just say, okay, I go for a 2-week trip and then come back, not a big deal. I can handle that. But I'm also really a person, it's like I felt I wasn't working as productively as I could for myself. My work, I was fine. I have those things down, and during the day the setup didn't change. So once it was up and running, it was good. But it was impacting my productivity for my personal side business and stuff I'm just interested in doing. It's not always that I do work on my side business. But in general, there's stuff I like to do. I like to keep busy. I'm not the person that just watches Netflix one show after another every night. So I need to do something. And it was impacting my productivity. And with that impact, it also impacted my happiness. And that's really where things had to change. So as mentioned before, with every trip that I took, it became more and more clear that it's a perfect vehicle for adventuring. It gets me anywhere where I want to go. But from a living and working perspective, this was not it. I'm not the person that sits too long with thinking back and forth, and I make decisions. So as I was going through that process, again, I'm not a person that sits long on back and forth type of thinking. And of course, I put enough effort into making decisions. I made the decision to, I need to find something new. I need to find something different to make this work. So I spent a lot of time researching, and it was January that I was on Ford's website and looking at, okay, what does a new pickup truck cost? Because I would have to go to an F-350 with the long wheelbase in general just to carry a slightly larger truck camper or whatever I wanted to do, or pull a trailer. I wasn't sure at that time, but for whatever reason, the universe was looking out for me. I was on Ford's website configuring a new F-350 pickup truck, and I get this pop-up from Ford with a $2,000 exclusive cash reward, which is really like cash when you pay for the truck. And it's like, for me, that was the final straw. It was like the universe is trying to tell me something. And $2,000 is a lot of money that would help me getting a new rig. So for me, that was the point where it's like, all right, I got to pull the trigger. I'm going to order a new truck. I already knew where I would order it. There's a dealership that provides really great pricing below invoice and has great reviews. So it's like I knew where I was going, and that was the start for me. And that also then triggered pretty much the immediate decision. It's like, okay, I need to sell my rig. There is not that large of a group of buyers in that range around $200,000, because that's where I was feeling my rig would end up from a sales perspective. So it's like I expected it to sit 3, 4, 5 months. So it's like the best time to start is now, not next week, it's now, because you never know when a buyer is out there. I prepared sales listing. I wanted to have the right pictures. I wanted the truck to be in perfect condition. So it's, I knew about a detailer that would ceramic coat my truck. So that was the next call I made. So the truck was cleaned, professionally ceramic coated, and then I listed it for sale. And it was, yeah, to my surprise, that within a day I had somebody reach out, somebody with serious intentions of buying it. So, and yeah, I had advertised nationwide. Surprisingly, the guy lives about 20 miles from here. But of course, it wasn't a decision that he just showed up. It's like, oh yeah, I'll take it. This took a while as well. So it was a process for him. It was a process for me, and that worked out in my favor from a timing perspective. So I ordered a new Ford pickup truck. And if you follow me on Instagram, you can already see some pictures of that new truck. I picked it up in Iowa, actually, just a few days ago. But yeah, I went through the process of selling the truck. The buyer finally agreed to a certain price. We'll have the contract signed. There was a non-refundable down payment involved. I gave the buyer a couple of weeks' time to come up with the rest of the money. He had several vehicles and a camper that he wanted to sell. So it's like, that works for me, because I still have a vehicle in that case for like buying groceries or whatever I need to run an errand, whatever the case may be. So all of these things just somehow aligned, being from or coming from the $2,000 exclusive cash reward I got from Ford, finding a buyer locally, finding a buyer that would not immediately take the vehicle and would probably leave the vehicle with me for another 3, 4 weeks, which was the case. It was almost exactly 4 weeks. And yeah, all these things aligned perfectly, and it really helped me to separate from my rig, separate from all the sweat, blood, and tears I had put into my truck and the Supertramp camper, and to make it as perfect as possible. But yeah, that's the story behind me selling my rig. So of course I have something new in the making already. I already have a new truck, as mentioned. So I will make another video where I will talk about what my new rig will look like and why I'm going with that certain type of camper that I decided to go with. So be on the lookout for this video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Hit that notification bell as well, because then you will know when I upload that specific video. If you have any questions, especially about the sales process, I'll be happy to make a video about that too. Otherwise, I would say leave your comments down below, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so as well. And then I would say I see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.